Hello everybody, how's it going? And today we're going to be discussing a new topic in my how to improve your League of Legends experience video, because I have no idea what to name the series. But, if you guys know a name, leave that in the comments. But basically, we're going to be talking about how to improve your League of Legends frame rates. Now, before I talk about how the actual solutions, I want to point out that if you have this experience where all of a sudden the game freezes, and then everyone moves really fast and then it's normal again, or it continues, that is not frame rate issues. That is internet issues, latency issues, ping issues, those kind of issues. It's not FPS. So that's just pointing that out. But if you see on the on the on your League of Legends screen, if you see the frame rates in the top right hand corner, if that's like low, if it's below 17, you'll start experiencing like lagginess. Usually above 17, 20, you still can get a fluent game going. But I'm be teaching you some tips on how to hopefully improve your frame rates. Of course, like I said, a couple of frames can really help your experience. Like, there's a big difference between 15 and 17 frames. 17 frames for me is playable. 15 frames is not playable for me. So anyways, the first thing you want to do is first thing you can do is updating your graphics card's driver software. So on a laptop, that'd be just like updating your computer altogether, your graphics software, I guess. On a desktop, you'd be going to your particular graphics card, your particular thing in your graphics center. Each graphics card has a different thing, but you basically want to update the drivers on your graphics card. That usually helps. The second thing, which I'll show you, is to make your windows look classic. Now, basically, Windows is normally in this arrow mode where you can look at things like that. So you want to change it to classic. So just right click the screen, go to personalize, go to not arrow themes, go to basic and high contrast themes and click Windows 7 basic. That should make Windows 7 look really bad, but it should improve your performance vastly. Like, I've seen like me getting 10 more frames just by doing this. And like I said, 10 frames is a lot more. If you can go from 17 to 27 frames, that's that's a better experience. Tongue twisting myself. Anyway, so that's one way to do it. I'm gonna change it back to this because, well, I don't really need it because my computer can handle League of Legends without changing it to classic theme. Second thing you can do is by clicking like your libraries or your computer. Right click computer, go to properties, go to advanced system settings, go to performance settings, and here it says let Windows choose what's best for your computer. No, press that best performance. Adjust for performance, not appearance. Adjust that for best appearance performance. That way, when you play your game, your computer will be like prioritizing performance over appearance, which I think is much better. Then if you go to advanced, you can choose how do you want to allocate processing resources, and you want to press adjust for best performance of programs, because League of Legends is a program, it's not a background service, and you barely ever want to have background services running most of your computer's power. Anyways, you do those two things, and that will also greatly affect your performance for your computer. I found that doing this improved my frame rate on average by a couple of frames, 2 to 3 frames, which isn't much, but like I said, 15 and 17 might only be 2 frames, but your experience playing the game is vastly changed if you have 17 frames rather than 15. Trust me. Because I was there. On my old computer, I used to get like 15 frames, and it sucked. Let's just say that. And anyways, so now let's continue on the next thing, and this is gonna be a little more obvious, but we're going to be going into the game, and we're going to be adjusting the video settings in game. So see you there. Hello everybody. Okay, so now we're going to be discussing how to improve your frame rates in the game. Now I'm getting 30 right now while recording. When I'm not recording, I get like 80. But if we press escape, or we press escape on our keyboard, and we go to video, we'll have all these settings here. As you can see, I have everything on very high except for shadows. Now you might ask, why do you have shadows on no shadows? Well, because shadows tax... Wow, okay, thanks for interrupting me, game. But shadows tax your system a lot. As soon as you put shadows in, like, your system performance or your frame rates drop a lot. So if you have a pretty okay computer and you know you're getting a little, your frames are dropping a little bit in team fights, and you don't want that to be happening, just go to your video settings and shut off those shadows, and shadows aren't really that big of a deal in game anyways, and you'll find that your performance in the game is so much better. Now, of course, you're gonna have to play around with these settings until you find what's best for you. I put my frame rate at stable because I want my viewers to find a stable frame rate, not like a crazy 72 and then 30 and then 80 and then 20. I don't like that. Not that it would happen. But if you still have problems with your frames, then you should go ahead and go to environment quality next and turn that to medium or low. If you still have trouble, turn that to very low. Next, you want to turn down effects qualities. The last thing you want to turn down is character quality, because character quality actually helps you play the game, I think, in my opinion. But if you need to, and on my old computer I had to, you might have to turn down everything on very low and have, everything off, so that way you can play the game with good experience. And the thing was, on my old computer I had everything off and I got 15 frames, and I had to do the rest of the tips in this video to get like up to 20 frames, and in team fights it went down to 2, so it sucked. That's why I got a new computer. But anyways, now that we discussed about this game, now we're gonna go back to our home screen and discuss another tip which I really like doing. Okay, we're back, and love my hypercam recording setup. Anyways, so we're back, and I'm gonna be discussing one of the last tips, and I think one of the most helpful tips for me, and that is to keep your web browser and all those things off. Of course, now that I have this good computer, I can keep all these things running and still get away with it. But you might not be able to, so get rid of those background applications. I don't care if you have to go into Task Manager and delete Skype if necessary. But that's basically what you have to do, and your performance will grow up tremendously in game. I had a web browser open and I had lost 10 frames on my old computer. These days it doesn't matter because of course I have a good computer. My computer can handle it. Another very important tip that vastly improved my experience personally is getting this Razer Game Booster. And I'm not plugging this in. I'm not getting paid by Razer to say this, but Razer Game Booster is amazing. But basically what Razer Game Booster does is it shuts off background applications for you. These useless Windows applications in the back, running in the background. And what that does is, when you do that, it improves your game performance like vastly. I found that I was getting 15 frames and I actually got 20 frames because of using Razer Game Booster. I think that it's a really good app, and even if you have a good computer, you should still get it. You should still get it. I really love Game Booster, and I think what they did with this application was great. Even has its own built-in screen recorder, but I don't use it because I have Fraps. But that might be useful for you. So this is a very powerful tool, and I really think you should get it. I'll put a link in the description to where you can get it. And that was pretty much all the tips today in how to improve your frame rates in League of Legends. Now, if you have any more tips, please leave that in the comments in my last video. How to get past the 33% stuck problem. I had many people including myself, putting in more solutions to the problem. And I think that's good because then more people can obviously play the game. Because right now, I haven't stated all the solutions to improving your frame rates, but I have said a couple of them that are pretty important. And so if you have any other ways of improving your frame rates, put it in the description. And if you have a good name for this series, put that in the description too. Other than that, if it works for you and improves your rate, please say thank you. It really makes my day when you do that. It definitely made my day in my last videos. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, leave that like or sub or both if you want to be super nice. And see you guys all next time.